What is up, YouTube? McMillions. So I had to digest a little bit of the whole ordeal, and I really love the production by HBO, the vision. I know Mark Wahlberg was a executive producer of this, and this is a story that I felt like everyone should have had some part in understanding and knowing that this actually happened. I love this story because it had everything that you kind of wanted it, and it could have been an actual movie. That's how so much of the drama was going on. This could have been an actual movie. Like, you had lies, you had a tangle of a spider web, it had some type of deaths in it. It had everything that you really needed to. Betrayal. It had everything, and the feds are hot on your tail. So this had the makings of a actual movie, and that's why I loved every episode of McMillions, because it was the grabber when it said, have you realized there was no legitimate $1 million winners of the McDonald's monopoly from, I believe it was like 95 to like 2001. And I'm like, dang, it's a long time, And I was just telling myself, I'm like, yeah, the monopoly is back. The McDonald's monopoly is back, but it took them so long because of this. And no one ever knew why it left in the first place. Because, I just never heard of anyone actually winning the $1 million prize from McDonald's, but we always played. You got free fries, you got a free hamburger, you always got something free. So I never heard of anyone getting $50,000, $100,000, $1 million. Never heard of that. So this broke down why no one had a legitimate winner from that time. And all because of Uncle Jerry. Jerry was the mastermind who was in part of the third party who actually makes the little, like the boardwalk pieces. That company actually makes it. And Jerry was that senior executive who will come in and kind of okay everything so they can send it to McDonald's. So what he did was go into that vault where, they had these pieces, and then he just took them. Because he was the guy that okayed everything. He was walk in, walk right back out, and opened the vault, and he took the pieces. Started selling those pieces on his own. And in the beginning, as it was saying, that he was selling those pieces for $100,000. Give me $100,000, I give you $1 million. You get $1 million, then you give me $100,000 out of it. So that's why I was kind of like, dang, yeah, that's definitely a scheme. And just kind of having all this entailed, because it involved, quote unquote, the mafia, because Jerry Columbo. So Jerry Columbo and the Columbo family is the son of crime boss Joe Columbo's son, Jerry Columbo, that got involved with Uncle Jerry. Hey, give me some of the pieces and I'll sell them as well. And you're going to pay me a little profit by selling them. So, on top of Jerry Columbo getting a piece, and he won a Dodge Viper. It was all over the news. It was all over, commercials that, hey, Jerry won a Dodge Viper from McMillions. And that's just how they got into it. I loved, and shout out to Francesco Columbo reaching out to me on my trailer reaction. I truly appreciate that. Just kind of understanding their side of this whole ordeal and how they got involved in it. And that's why I said it was just so much going on. And I feel like Uncle Jerry had a network of people that he trusted to give them game pieces, and whoever they felt entitled for the game pieces, they were distributing game pieces to the people that they felt that were entitled for it. So Jerry was just one of many, and he gave game pieces out to people that he knew, out to his ex-wife, Robin, to her best friend. That's how she had won. The dad and his best friend. So it was a whole bunch of people, and then he had Jerry knew another guy in North Carolina who he gave game pieces to. He was kind of down on his luck. He was like a real estate broker or a investor per se, where he just bought properties. Gave him a couple of game pieces, and he distributed it out to people, and that's how that web had started. And then Jerry had another guy who was like a fugitive in the 70s in San Diego. He just got out of jail. He gave him a couple of game pieces where whoever he felt entitled to, they would get a game piece. So he had about 2 or 3 people working for him and breaking them off pieces of money in exchange of the $1 million winner tickets. So it was just a huge web. And you just got to see, how these were all linked and how they were predominantly in the same area and in the same family. And I see how the FBI got into that. When it first starts, in episode 1, first off, I love FBI Special Agent Doug Matthews. The dude is not your typical special agent. You wouldn't think that a special agent acts like that. Like, he's full of life, full of energy, and not a dull moment with him. You can tell by this guy working in the office, not a dull moment with him. He's one of those guys who is quick on the job, and definitely if he feels like this is a credible source, he's going to go down that rabbit hole, and he's going to do it with fun and vigor. So that's why I loved Doug Matthews and how he was assigned to the case to really dig and find out. And then eventually it became massive where the whole FBI were involved in looking into this case. It took them a number of years. They had to build up evidence and they had to connect the dots, which you could tell it was very intricate, that they took a long time to build this case until they brought everyone down. And I loved it from start to finish because you didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know who was going to get away. You didn't know what was going to take place. And eventually at the last episode, you find out that somebody snitched. That's how the FBI got involved, which all in all, it was Jerry Columbo's mother. Snitched because Francesco was going to go with Robin, and she was predominantly raising Francesco, and she didn't want to see him fall into the hands of the mom of Robin, knowing that she was kind of in and out of jail, doing things that she should have been doing. And she was like, you know what? I know the whole ordeal. I know the whole thing. In order for me to keep my grandson, I got to destroy it all. And she did. Didn't know that that's what it took, but she had to do what she had to do. And they're all better for it. That's how I feel, knowing that it's a big relief off your shoulders, knowing that you had to live this life for so long. And I just loved when they had the FBI had that fake McDonald's camera crew go out to the people's houses to explain how they would win. And you just seen the lies. And I was like, oh my gosh. Even that, like I said, the dad, he's over there drenched with sweat, couldn't barely talk. The lady was, they had to point out to a McDonald's that's not even in Florida. Oh yeah, that's the one I went to. And I'm like, that's not even in your state. So I'm just kind of like, man, this is good. Just to see the tactics that the FBI had to do to bring everyone down, to understand that, hey, yes, we do have you on tape, saying that this is one of your testimonies, so you better confess. So I loved the intricateness, the plot. Like I said, it's just a string of webs of trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And I remember initially they thought it was McDonald's. And so I just love the digging of how they found and got to the root cause of the whole thing. I truly give this documentary on HBO a 9 out of 10. Just simply because that it could have really been a movie. I'm not going to lie. But I would take this documentary because you get to hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak. And I just loved Jerry Columbo's brother at the end, how him and his wife was like, they were there, they witnessed the whole thing, they seen the whole thing. And then right at the end, that his son comes in from work and he was like, what do you know? My son works at McDonald's. I'm like, you talk about a full circle. That's why I was like, I could tell they were waiting to say that at the end. that one to me was like, oh my gosh, this is such a good documentary. I really enjoyed watching it. It just, I missed that stage of binging. Like Netflix has us so much into binging where, you know, HBO took a page out of that Disney Plus book and it's just, hey, wait, 1 week per episode, 1 week per episode. So it just had you, I can't wait till Monday so I can watch McMillions. And I was really telling myself it's McMillion Monday. You know what I'm saying? So that's what made me really like, it's McMillion Monday. A brand new episode of McMillions is coming on. I can't wait to watch it. I'm here for it. I loved every bit of it. And like I said, truly shout out to Francesco Columbo for reaching out to me on my trailer reaction. I truly appreciate that. And like I said, I would love to talk a lot more and get more in depth. I know they have a podcast of McMillions, and I just want everyone to really watch this because they need to understand how some of these things have taken place, and just in this particular instance, the why, you know, there was no $1 million winners from the McDonald's monopoly. So that's why I wanted to see the why. And I'm here for it because they explain the why. So, if you guys enjoyed my review of McMillions, subscribe to my channel, post comment down below, like the video. It's your boy, D. Dyson. Peace.